Just 4 Nittany Lion runners have run sub-4-minute miles in their time in blue and white. Brandon broke the barrier right here in State College, besting the mark by a half a second.
Put another way, if Casey were the size of this one plate, then on that day, he would have had to lift this many times his body weight.
Tents, as you can see, come in all shapes and sizes. You can have as few as 1 camper, as many as 10. Of course, what's on the line are the best seats inside Beaver Stadium. Martin Michael Wortley, a college teammate of Penn State head coach James Franklin, and one of those that lost their lives here on 9/11. The Nittany Lions getting a chance to reflect here at the 9/11 Memorial before practicing for the first time in New York City. I'm big, I'm bad, I'm taking up space. Go down.
Yep.
Tim Frazier's already the all-time leader for assists in Penn State program history. Now tonight he's only 3 rebounds short of becoming just the second player in Big Ten Conference history to have 1,000 career points, 600 assists, and 500 rebounds.
I think I've always been a dreamer since I was a young kid.
And for Penn State women's soccer, senior Raquel Rodriguez is a dream come true.
She's a full package in terms of a college soccer player. I think she just brings a different element to our team.
The midfielder, known to teammates and coaches as Rocky, is truly a world-class player, scoring a goal in this year's World Cup for her native Costa Rica, an early highlight in Rodriguez's career.
When it actually happened, I couldn't sleep that night, and the next day I couldn't stop thinking about it. It was just too exciting. I couldn't believe it. It's still like a dream.
Just how this player from 4,000 miles away ended up at Penn State is a story in itself. Raquel is the first in her family to even go to college.
And she brings a different level of appreciation because she didn't grow up with all of this, unlike the rest of us.
Discovered by Penn State head coach Erica Walsh as a young teen, Rocky was playing against much older competition, taking on that uphill challenge fitting for the girl who was determined to make education the key to a better life.
She kind of really just takes it all in and embraces it, and it really puts things into perspective.
The reality in Costa Rica was one that I wish it was different, but at that point I was sure that I wanted to come to the States. Then I was just waiting for that opportunity.
Rocky's short-term goals, the upcoming Penn State season and playing professionally, would keep her here in the United States. But the big picture dream takes her back to her native Costa Rica.
I feel this calling to give back to women's soccer in Costa Rica, and it's definitely a challenge, and it'll take time, but I think I'm here to contribute.
The idea of giving back, a perfect match.
She's always bringing others with her.
For the player who makes everyone around her better. In State College, Jacob Kaucher for Nittany Nation. Pick a sport, and there are major milestones everybody knows. Baseball has its perfect game, running the 4-minute mile. In bowling, it's the 300 score. The most recent member of that 300 club in Altoona is also the youngest ever in the city.
I was on that day.
You can call him talented, you can call him dedicated, maybe even a prodigy. When it comes to bowling, Michael Turiano knows what it's like to be perfect.
I mean, I felt nervous because it was my first official 300, but I had my friends and my family to back me up on it.
Michael's perfect bowling game came last week in his junior league at Altoona's Bavarian Hall. At only 12 years old, he's the youngest ever 300 bowler in the city.
I didn't think it would happen so soon.
Michael's dad, John, knows just how big his son's achievement is. A former pro bowler himself, John has 25 career 300 games. His first one, though, didn't come until he turned 20.
When you talk about bowling, that is the number one achievement. That's what you're shooting for. That's what you practice for. That's why you're in the game.
As for pressure, Michael says there's no extra now than there was before he rolled his 300 game.
I proved myself that I can do it, so I don't think I have to try anymore.
He'll still bowl as much as he can, a few days a week for hours at a time. The ultimate goal, to turn his passion into a career.
I see this as being my job in the future because that's what I've been wanting to do my entire life.
And you know what? Michael says the worst part about bowling is when he has to leave, when they have to basically drag him out of the lanes when he gets done multiple days a week.
It's a natural talent he's got.
Yeah, very special kid.
They're two of Penn State's top playmakers, but senior safety Jordan Lucas and sophomore wide receiver Deshaun Hamilton are bound by so much more.
My brother has autism. He doesn't have the same opportunities that I have had in my life.
My brother is autistic too, and we share some of the same things. Like, this brought us closer together.
Hamilton's brother Darius is older than Deshaun by a couple years. He can't speak because of the disorder.
I communicate with him non-verbally. He does sign language with me. He can't necessarily communicate as much as he wants to. I still know what he wants to get done and what he wants to accomplish.
Lucas's younger brother Brandon also communicates through sign language. The few words he can say come out on game day.
He sees the blue and white and he knows that he said, that's Jordan.
Although physically separated by distance for most of the year, the players keep their brothers with them in different ways. Lucas has a tattoo that means my brother's keeper. Hamilton, meanwhile, always has an autism awareness puzzle piece on his backpack.
I love him to death. You know, he would be one person I would actually take anything for. And if I could switch places with my brother in my life, I actually would.
The obstacles Darius and Brandon face each day put their brothers' lives as college football players in perspective.
I've learned to be patient, and that's one thing, the most important thing that my brother has taught me, that everything doesn't happen when I want it to.
You know, keep me from complaining about the little things and little dumb things that might be aching me or bothering me throughout the day, because I know my brother, obviously, he's one person that has it worse, and there's many other people in the world that have it a lot worse.
A true bond of brothers. In State College, Jacob Kaucher for Nittany Nation. Some squads making that playoff push, others trying to position themselves better in the postseason race. That was the case in Mount Union tonight, where it is our Lesser Lumber Game of the Week, as voted on by you, the fans. Good job, everybody. You picked a good one. You go, Glen Coco. We go right to the fourth. Mount Union up 1. Here's Tussey Mountain's Darren Sipes. Nobody gonna stop him. 72 yards in for the score. 19-14 Titans after a failed two-point conversion. On the ensuing kickoff, if you like scoring, you're gonna get even more scoring. This is B.J. Lohner. The speedy junior will not be stopped for Mount Union. He's into the house as the Trojans grab the lead back 21-19. Same score, just a few minutes later. Trevin Walker dropping back, finding Lohner in stride on the slant in the end zone. 27-19 Trojans. They hold off a late comeback, try to win 27-25, moving to 8-1 this year.